Hey everyone, it's SpursRail96 here, and welcome to the first Train Sim World livestream of 2025. Hope you've had a brilliant festive period and New Year's celebrations. For today's livestream, we're taking a look at something brand spanking new that I managed to purchase on the PlayStation Store before Christmas, maybe just after Christmas. Surprisingly on a discount. One of the newest Dovetail games route that they have released so far is finally in my hands. The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority Commuter route, which is set in the northeast of the United States in Massachusetts. So yeah, let's get into it and have some fun. Alright, so I've got the full timetable enabled. Some of the additional layers like freight and empty stop moves with Amtrak and all that kind of stuff. We're going to take the new toy of this route out for a spin, the HSP 46 diesel electric locomotive. And I think this service we're going to do this one, the 720, and actually no, that's not a full run of the route, is it? Let's do this one. This one looks alright. An MBTA train from Boston South Station to Worcester. That is a full length front of the line, and yeah, it should take about roughly an hour and a half. So we'll have a bit of time to have a look around the route. So the driver, there we go. Hey presto. As always, I have a drink with me, but not tea, it's hot chocolate. And I was given over Christmas, so I thought might as well use it. The hot chocolate I actually got from my mum's sister. Actually was in a little train, Christmas train. You open the lid, which is the roof of the locomotive, and a little packet of hot chocolate was inside. Very nice indeed. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, this is service P519 1618 MBTA service. 7 vehicles are now consist. Right, let's before we go any further, we will do the usual. Turn the motion blur on to aid the stream's performance. Right, let's get the reverser handle in. There we go. Let's check the usual lights. And all the tickety-boo is on. Let's put on the reading light for starters. Gauge lights. Yep, ground lights, step lights, rear marker lights, the brake application. Engine run away with a generator field switch. Auxiliary heater, do we need it on? Oh, it's January, I suppose. I'll have it on low. I think low's a good start, right? Okay, let's unlock the doors. Put the brakes into minimum application. Front headlights. That's bright with ditch lights, which is insanely bright. Alerter will have turned on. What else is there on the back wall? I don't need to mess around with. Nothing on there. We open the cabinet. The slowest fuse cabinet door I have ever seen. That takes an age to open. Why the animation is so slow, I have no idea. ACSES is on, as is the ATC. Good grief. So slow. There we go. We closed in the end. I presume the HEP is all off and on. Sorry, and in a good state. Right. What else do I need to do? I'll turn the reading lights off because we're not going to be undercover for long. Jeez, this is loud. I forgot how loud this place was. That's insane. I think it was best we stay in the cab and depart the station first before we could take a look at the exterior. I did lock the doors, did I not? Thought I did. Just check. There we go. There we go. We'll turn the bell on. Let's just get out of Boston South Station first. Frame rate is not the best, and it is extremely loud within the station. We've got 1, 2, 3 trains. I'll make that 4. Sorry. It just sounds very, very loud because obviously they're all diesel locomotives, unless there is some Amtrak ones in this station. That's better. So right, we'll head to Boston Back Bay. That's the first station stop, 1 mile away. So this is Boston South, pretty much exactly the same as it was from Boston Sprinter. What I've noticed is down at Southampton Street Yard you can do way more switching duties or taking the services, particularly the Amtrak ones with the Acela. You can shuttle the Acela Express in and out of Southampton Street Yard, which you couldn't do before on Boston Sprinter, which was a bit unusual. Don't know why Dovetail didn't do it at the time when the Acela released, but there you go, they've added it in now. What is disappointing off the bat is that it's a shame that they didn't add the additional Amtrak empty stock moves into Boston Sprinter from the MBTA Commuter. And another thing is that it would be really cool if we could see this locomotive and the newer coaches and cab car subbed onto the Boston Sprinter route, you know, just for added variation with the MBTA stock. I'm not asking for new services, I'm just asking for, you know, just subbing them into the existing Boston Sprinter timetable. Yeah, a slow departure out of Boston South. I remember I did a video, an ASMR video of Boston South, I think like 1 or 2 years ago, and there was just trains going in and out, whether be it empty stop moves, Amtrak services departing, MBTA services coming in and out of the station. Very, very busy. Certainly for the number of services Boston Sprinter had for its timetable. Right, speed limit has increased to 30 miles per hour. We can gain a little bit of speed, but of course the station is not too far up the track. I think that'll do. Turn the power off. So that the train coasts down this slight little gradient. You've got the highway, highway going into going out of the centre of Boston. At least there's some traffic on the roads, and it's not as bad looking as it was on the previous US route I took a look at, which was the San Bernardino line. It's not full to the brim of traffic, but at least there is some there on the roads. But here we are, approaching Boston Back Bay. So let's just slow the train down as we're coming into the platform. Of course, this is a different set of platforms in Boston Bay, Back Bay, compared to the Boston Sprinter route, if I remember. The other set of platforms from Boston Sprinter over here. We six, yeah, or 5 coaches and a cab car. Okay, that's a little bit quieter down here. So this is the first station stop, Boston Back Bay Station. Familiar but new, obviously, the new platforms. It's dirty, it's grubby, just as you'd expect in a downtown station in a major city. Danger sign there, no trespassing. In the boarding area there. Oh my goodness. That looks like a character from that Robots film like 20 years ago. God, I really am starting to feel my age now. Look at all this trash here and rubbish on the ground. And it's off to a good start. So far so good. I'm loving the fact of how the station looks heavily used. Granted, it's not particularly busy with passenger numbers, but you know, the dirt, the grime, the rubbish. You know, it's dirty. It's not squeaky clean like you'd see in other stations. So yeah, I like. You've got the PIS boards, which have changed from Boston Sprinter. These have been ported over, I think, from the Long Island Railroad Commuter, which is always a nice thing to see. And now these are the coaches, multi-level coaches, and the cab car which are new to this route and the MBTA fleet. They are, I think, nearly the same ones from New York to Trenton route that New Jersey Transit has, but obviously in a different layout of the interior and obviously the paintwork. Destination displays work there on the sides, and it's going to Worcester. Back Bay exit here. Have a look. People are struggling to get out. Oh, I can see why. There is no exit down here. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about the locomotive when we get to the next station stop. But let's just lock the doors and hear and see them in action. Very good. Off we go. The next station stop is Lansdowne, just over a mile away. It's Put it at full power. Hear this engine scream. Underground. Or undercover. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. Let the train cruise for a minute till we get to the open air. Hey Sophie, very well, thank you. Happy New Year to you. Hope all is well. Just taking a first look at the MBTA Commuter, the usual in-depth first look I normally do. Sometimes it can take an hour and a half, sometimes 3 hours. But yeah, so far, so good. But the next station onwards will be completely new to me, like I've never seen any elements of the route regarding, playing the route or tutorial services, you name it. So this is literally a step into the unknown once we get to Lansdowne. Sophie, that's alright, no problem. It doesn't matter to me if there's a roadmap stream or not. I have zero interest in the roadmap. Hence why I don't make any videos for it, to be honest with you. I prefer to be surprised with what is next in the pipeline from either Dovetail or its third-party devs, and here we are, coming into the station of Lansdowne. Better get on the brakes here. See how good this thing is regarding brakes. Very good, actually. Let's unlock the doors. Alright, let's get out of the cab. Okay, so we're right next to the highway. That looks like an old PIS board from like Train Sim World 1, but just mimicked as a one of those digital road signs, displaying either, public safety messages on the road, or, incidents at junctions or sections of the highway, or motorway as I call it in the UK. A bit disappointing that the road doesn't fully join up with another part of the road, unless this section is meant to mimic a part of the highway being newly tarmacked. But okay, Lansdowne, let's have a look round. So we've got another roadway over the station. So the station complex is under this huge building. I don't know if it's an apartment building or an office block. Either way, it's modelled quite nicely, I have to say. Unless it is the blimey, it can't be station concourse of Lansdowne, surely. I wouldn't have thought so. There's a car park. I've seen worse car parks, to be fair. This must be the main station building. Lifts heading up to the walkway or changing platforms. Emergency assistance telephone. Lansdowne sign saying outbound or south station. Okie doke. And What's this little board here? Important boarding info, Monday to Friday, 2:30 to 7 p.m. A little bit low res, but at least you can read it from a small distance. Okay, nice touch. Does the lifts work? That's very important. No. Let me call the elevator again. I think I can hear the elevator, but the doors are not opening. So I can't even actually get in there. Maybe it's not modelled. It's just the sound of the buttons being pressed. Let me try this one. Call the elevator. What else? Rules of conduct. Oh, I see. There's the elevator itself. You can actually see it, but it doesn't operate. Oh, that's a pain in the neck. What's the point modelling it if it's not going to be operational? That chips a little bit away at Lansdowne for me there. Yeah, you got the MBTA logo on the outside of the station. I like this, but I mean, granted we're in January, but in the spring, summer, I imagine these trees and little bushes here don't look too bad. You've got some leaves on the ground. I imagine these lights would illuminate under the cover of darkness, so it might look quite good actually at night time in this part of the city. Ooh, what's this little walkway? What goes down here? This is down another way to the platforms, is it? Beacon Street. It's very dark down here, my goodness. Well, this bit isn't. This bit, good grief. That's, that's dark. Very dark. Now, the next station, when we're not undercover, by a walkway or roof or whatever, I can have a look at the locomotive in a bit more detail. And we'll see the train depart at least. Full power. Let's see what she sounds like at full chat. It sounds okay. I think it's just lacking a little bit of bark from the engine. I know Dovetail have been to MBTA and got accurate recordings of the coaches, the cab car and the locomotive, both externally and internally, but I don't know, it's just lacking a little bit of roar, lacking a bit of bass or something. The sounds are good. I think it just needs to be turned up a notch, I mean, I've got my headphones at maximum, hence why I said back at Boston South it was hideously loud for my ears. It just didn't quite sound as loud. I mean, even the alerter sound in this cab sounds louder than the engine ramping up, unfortunately. And the horn as well. The horn sounds great, but the looping is very noticeable indeed. So I don't know if Dovetail or maybe someone, anyone in the community, maybe on Train Sim community website can clean up the bell and the horn a little bit better. We'd be absolutely fine. So the next station stop is Natick Centre. It's 13 miles away. So if you're really interested because of the Wales route, what do you think of the train spurs? The locomotive, I quite like it. I really do. I love the look of it from the exterior, the interior. It's something different to the MBTA fleet. I haven't got the stats of the locomotive on me at the moment, to be honest with you. I will get the stats up in a second. But it's a reasonably new locomotive in MBTA's arsenal. What's surprised me about not this locomotive but the other locomotive you can play with on this route, the F40PH-3C, which was from Boston Sprinter. That's had some new sounds added by Dovetail, and those sounds are miles better just in terms of the loudness of the locomotive compared to the HSPE 46. Let's see if I can just get up MBTA. I'm gonna miss a load of stations and crossing gates while I try and get the okay, relax. I'm getting down the speed. I did something wrong. That's a first for me. Let's put it in suppression. There we go. I'll be alright. Nearly bottled it, but not quite. That's me not focusing on at the screen. I apologise there. Just trying to get some stats of this route in my hands, so I can drivel away at some stats to you. So yeah, the MBTA Commuter costs £29.99 in the UK. What is it, $40 in the United States? Crikey, every time that alarm goes off. Scares the bejeebers out of me when I'm not looking at the screen. So yeah, it's 44 miles from Boston South to Worcester, Massachusetts. 18 stations, including Lansdowne for Fenway Park. I didn't actually see the stadium. No, I didn't see the station, did I? No. I'll have to have a look again. I think when I do another service in the opposite direction with the cab car or something like that. But yeah, you could do a variety of services going to Framingham and Worcester. I think Ashland as well. And yeah, 18 stations, like I said. And there's also quite an impressive freight presence on this route if you have all the sandpatch grade stuff, as well as Sherman Hill, Horseshoe Curve and Cajon Pass. Which is nice to have some CSX presence for a change on another route. There wasn't any at all, I think, well, playable services or AI on Boston Sprinter, so that is very much welcome indeed. The CSX side of things needs a bit of a kick in the backside, really. Because, yeah, I mean, we haven't had a CSX route or anything from CSX in a very long time indeed. Very long time. Okay, the speed limit has increased to 79. I'll let the train cruise for a second as I get the stats of the locomotive. Okay, if I can actually find it. So yeah, the HSP is a diesel electric locomotive. I'm just waiting for the page to load up a bit more. It's having a little wobble at the moment. Let's go back to reload the page again. No, it doesn't quite want to play ball for some reason. Let's do it again. It's odd. Okay. And go back. Come on. Stupid thing. Coming soon. There we go. That's the one I want to see. Thank you very much. Okay, what was I saying? I finally found it. So, the MBTA HSP46 is a diesel electric locomotive, which I've said for the third or fourth time now. First entered service in 2014. It's meant to replace the older F40PH. It was designed mainly for better aerodynamics, and it's easier for the engineers to operate with a more spacious interior than the locomotive it was meant to replace. It includes an interactive digital display, which I haven't actually touched, so when we get to the next station, Natick Centre, I will take a little sneak peek at that. And powering this locomotive is a General Electric, I think, GEVO V12 power plant, or 12 power plant. It meets the more let's say stricter emissions targets for use in urban environments, as well as a smoother sound when powering up to depart stations. What's also unique is that there is an automatic stop-start feature like you have in some modern cars these days, which basically the engine temporarily shuts down after 3 minutes with the throttle in the idle position and with the reverser in neutral. The engine restarts when those and several other controls are interacted with. And as far as safety systems, you get the usual ATC and ACSES. I will actually try that, see if this engine stop-start feature actually works. Saying it is one thing, seeing it in action is quite another. But yeah, this locomotive I do like. I prefer it to the F40PH, but I think the sounds of the F40PH, certainly with the recent update from Dovetail, it is that sounds just a little bit more better, a little bit more what's the word? More gutsy, you know. Right, let's increase the power, get up to some speed. I've missed a bucket load of stations, but you know, oh well, what can you do? I might go in the cab car and do an opposite end-to-end service that stops at every station. I probably should have done that before, but I wanted to take this locomotive out for a spin because it is the headline act, so to speak, of this Boston Sprinter route. So whereas the Boston Sprinter is a part of the Northeast Corridor, you can reach up to some quite significant speeds, you know, over 100 miles per hour, 125, maybe even 140 maybe. This is not for, you know, the Need for Speed fans or speed freaks. It's very much a slower pace kind of route. It has a focus on local services and freight operations. Yeah, Sophie, the pacer is much louder. The stadium is there but not accurate. I have no idea what the stadium looks like, to be honest with you. I think it is in the game, like you said, but I just haven't seen the stadium yet. Bronco in VA. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. It was on sale. I got it yesterday. Yeah, I was quite surprised by how quickly this route has already gone on. On sale with a discount, I should say. When did the route release? I think it was meant to release in late October. It was delayed by another couple of weeks or so, or maybe an entire calendar month, maybe. Either way, it came out in November, and I got this on a discount in late December. So what? Probably less than a month, just over a month since it's released, and it's already on the discount, which is a nice surprise, but surprising nonetheless. One thing for sure is that the West Coast Main Line over Shap route by Just Trains, that will be a very long wait until that route is on a discount. Right, let's just pick up the pace once more. We have a speed limit of 55 miles per hour coming up. Sophia engine stop start also features on ADL Enviro 200 MMC buses. Okay. I mean, I know obviously the automatic, stop-start practice has been implemented on the automotive industry. Not so much in the railway or the railroad. Here we go again. Just got to pick up the pace. Let the engine sing again. I am quite pleased to see the traffic has been implemented on a large section of this route so far. Dovetail could have easily just left the roads quiet and empty, but no, credits to them. They put some traffic in. It's not, end to end, with massive queues and tailbacks, but well, at least there's some traffic out on the roads on this particular route. We've got just under 3.5 miles to go until Natick Centre. Lovely. Sophie. Yeah, what was I going to say? Push button ignition, yeah, oh no, stop ignition, I should say. Yeah, I think, I personally don't like using it, but I know, a few of my family members and friends like the feature. I personally don't, because I'm just afraid of, once you switch it off, is it going to switch back on? If you're at a standstill, either at a junction or on the highway or motorway. That's my main fear. I know it's good for the environment and maybe for the longevity of the engine, but yeah, I just don't want to take the risk, I'm like, no. Electric car obviously is a different story because obviously the power is instant. Whereas with an internal combustion engine, obviously you have to wait for it to switch on. It takes like a second or two, but in these days, but yeah. Don't want to take the risk. Just under 2 miles to go until Natick Centre, our third station stop. Milk float cars, yeah. I like electric cars. I do. I like the technology of them, and the technology of them, and how it works, and all that stuff. You know, it's quite interesting to me. It's just if I was given the opportunity of would I rather have a car operated by an internal combustion engine or by batteries, I would 100% go for an internal combustion engine. The infrastructure is just not there at the moment. If the government was in the UK, that is, was to rip out every single petrol station in the land and replace them with electric charging points, then yeah, maybe. And in theory, I could. Well, it would be a bit of a stretch because I don't know if all the family would welcome an electric vehicle compared to an internal combustion engine car, because you'd have to charge it, plug it in at home, charge it. Goodness me knows how long that would take to charge, which means it would of course cost more money, for electricity and all that stuff. So there's a whole host of bits and pieces that are not quite ready, let's say, for the electric car era. We are a long way over. Oopsie daisy. Underestimated the brakes of this locomotive. Oh well. We still made it. Right. I am going to take a look at the screens. The CDU display. Here we go. We've got the propulsion systems here. Throttles in idle. Good. Reversers in the forward position. That's nice. So, if I take the reverser in neutral position, isn't it? Throttle in idle, reverser in neutral. It should shut down the engine. We should hear it going pretty quiet soon, but let's take a look. We got OPS, that doesn't do anything. The faults, good, there's no faults, that's what I like to see. HVAC, yeah, okay. The temperatures of the cabins not running, okay, so well, at least they work, fair enough. We've got the main maintenance panel. Enter a password. Enter maintenance password to access the maintenance screens. Type password using the number keys and press E to enter. Okay, I'll make a password up. How long does the password have to be? Okay, just one more number. I'll put a number in. And then press C. Oh no, then press E to enter. Then press C to return to the previous screen. I don't think anything happened. Let's try again. Let's just type some random numbers. There we go, press that one. E to enter and then press C to return to the previous screen. Okay, so I don't think the maintenance panel actually exists on this virtual variant of this locomotive, but at least you can put a password in and pretend, I suppose. Got the 8 crates here. things like the parking brake, wheel slip, handbrake, etc. All the bits and pieces. You can turn it on and off, obviously. F1, F2, the brightness, the contrast. Yes, you can adjust the contrast. That is good to see. The graphics looks well, aren't too shabby. Let's go to the fire display. So it's just the usual bits and pieces, you know, like with the air brakes, you can put it in trail or cut out the brakes and all that kind of jazz. Operation messages, that's an interesting one. Locomotive symptoms, nope. View RUS. Active something, can't quite see that clearly enough. Is that an incident log? And what's that, a snapshot log? Either way, it doesn't do much. Oh, okay, fair enough. And there's the radio. I have no idea if it actually works. Right, request permission to proceed or anything like that? No? Okay. So the radio doesn't work. But all these bits and pieces, like the ATC speed limit, the signal display, you know, and speed limits and all that stuff, that does work, so that is a nice touch. Shouldn't this locomotive be shutting down by now? Maybe if I put the brakes on full. I don't know. Doesn't really say if the brakes should be it's temporary with the throttle in idle and reverse it in the neutral position. I presume if the brakes are in full service, the engine will cut out. What is the engine room accessible? Probably not. No, sir, it is not. But it's a nice looking cab. I really do like it. It is a good cab. It's well modelled for a change, and the textures aren't too horrendous either. Right, what's the exterior looking? Oh, bugger. No, I don't want to put it in. I want to put it in neutral. Thank you. So let's have a look at the interior of this monster. Exterior, I should say. It's okay. It's not too bad. Could be a little bit more grubby. That's just my view. It's a bit better on the side here. A bit of weathering there. Streaking you can see there. It's number 2013. Very appropriate. I love the livery of the MBTA. It's just so different with the purple and the pink. These are the coaches, pretty much the same from Boston to Providence, Northeast Corridor. And the cab car we'll take a look at later. Let's have a look at the station actually. What have we got here? The force of a train hitting your car equals the force of your car crushing a can. Operation Lifesaver. Okay. We've got be mindful. Are these actually real, like, safety signs, you know, or advertisements? It seems to be like that. That's a different approach from Dovetail if it isn't. We've got a destination display that is not working. That is a shame. Oh no, fair enough. It does work. Just doesn't display it. Is this meant to be a disused platform or something? It is. We've got a little bin and something inside there, locked. Got the MBTA sign. That's cool, that's cool, I like that. A good old American diner there. US flags there, it's a nice touch. This texture of the brickwork with the sun setting. They don't look too bad. You got the phone. Dovetail Weekly. Oh dear me. What have we got? The Dove News. Keeping the news on track. Just look up. What's going on with my cursor? 1 in 5 people choose their phone over the view. Depends what view it is, my friend. Yeah, station's alright. It's third one I've only seen, so but other than that, it's okay. I don't know if his engine is going to shut down. I can't wait forever, but I have given it a bit of a chance. Oh well, maybe it's not. Let's reduce the brakes to minimum, lock the doors, and let's get rocking. Maximum power, let's go for it. Yeah, the sound is there of the locomotive, just needs to be turned up a notch, get it roaring a bit more. Other than that, I've got very little complaints of the locomotive and the rolling stock so far. Okay, the next station stop is West Natick. It's just over 2 miles away. We're going to be very, very late, which is expected since I'm doing a first look of this route. Hey Henry, nice to see you. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's a new DLC I picked up recently, the MBTA Commuter. It launched in November last year, since we're in 2025 now. So yeah, it's the newest Dovetail route Dovetail games are put out for Train Sim World. The newest route for Train Sim World at this moment in time is by third-party developer Just Trains. That is the excellent, magnificent West Coast Mainliner over Shap route, or Preston to Carlisle, if you prefer the other name of the DLC. Henry, one of those flags blow about in the high winds. I have my doubts. I don't think they do. It'd be really cool if they did, but I don't think they would. I don't think the flags blew in the breeze. Henry, how are you paused on the side of the track watching the train go? Paused on the side of the track? I'm not sure what you mean by paused on the side of the track. I mean, you can stop a train at a station and you can get out using the external, camera and look around. Look at the internals of the locomotive. The graphics of it, the textures. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know what you mean. You have to expand your question, my friend. Do you think I'll stop at the end of the station? I don't think so. Well, I might have a chance. Stop there, come on. I like the squeal of the brakes, that's good. That isn't too bad, stop in the end. Granted, I'm breaking all sorts of rules of the railroad, not using the buttons, the bell and the horn and all that stuff. When I do videos of operating this route properly, obviously I will do that and I'll pay a lot more attention. Normally these streams just tend to waffle on and on and on, and yeah, Just talk about anything. Sub-Zero Scorpion, hope you're well. Happy New Year to you as well. Right, the next station stop is Framingham, 1.5 miles away. Sophie is excited for the Welsh route, the Cardiff City route. I mean, if you want to honestly know what routes I am looking forward to and not looking forward to, I'll get the list up of routes and, well, stuff that's coming out to Train Sim World. Hopefully the majority of them on Train Sim World 5, but I've got a terrible feeling some of them is going to be put back on purpose for Train Sim World 6 or 66 or whatever the hell it's going to be this year. A speed limit of 30 coming up, so let's get down that speed. Right, anyway, where's the list? There's the list there. Just got to get rid of these stupid pop-up banners and all this stuff these days on websites. Yeah, so as far as new stuff that's coming to hopefully, like I said, majority on Train Sim World 5. From Dovetail, I am looking forward to the Cardiff City network in particular, because it is a brand new country and it is a small little network. It's 20 odd miles or something like that, and it looks quite interesting. The German route, the Plavsich-Ludwigsbahn, that looks on paper quite interesting, despite the fact it's well, all of the rolling stock coming with that route is exactly the same. None new whatsoever. There's a crossing here. Right, we're coming into Framingham. Long platforms here at Framingham. I'll just concentrate for a second before I rattle on the list of things I like and don't like. There we go, right. Anyway, what was I saying? The list. Yeah, the German route, the Ludwigsbahn. On paper, I mean, the route itself doesn't look too bad. 65 kilometers set in 2014, but the rolling stock is forgettable. I mean, we've got, what is it, the 111, which we've already got. The 425, had that already. The 406 ICE 3M is coming back for the first time in, what, 4 years? So unless they've heavily worked on the physics or the sounds or, I don't know, anything to do with that multiple unit, then, yeah, other than the rolling stock being a bit of a joke, the Ludwigsbahn looks quite interesting. The German route, the Spulinge route from Spulinge to Groningen, you know what? I'm not gonna get that. It does not rock my boat. I'm sure it will be an okay-ish route. I mean, the rolling stock looks good. You know, that's being produced for the first Dutch route in Train Sim World. It's 105 kilometers, and you know, it's got the Netherlands ICM3 and the SNG, but as good as the rolling stock looks, it just does not rock my boat. I would have preferred a route in another country, to be honest with you. Not saying that the Netherlands is crap, their transit, you know, system in real life is rubbish or nothing like that. I'm sure it's fantastic. It's just not my thing. I would have preferred a route in Spain or Italy or another route in France. That's just how I like things. But that's what routes I prefer in other European nations, or other European nations in general. So yeah, the Dutch route, as good as it may be, I won't be buying it because it does not interest me. The Metrolink F59 diesel locomotive for the San Bernardino line looks quite cool if it adds additional services. If it doesn't, then forget it. I'll get it on the discount maybe. And from the third-party studios, the first route from Alan Thompson Simulation, Manchester Airport Commuter. It looks okay on paper. I just would have liked to have seen a route maybe a bit more ambitious from Alan Thompson Simulation. I mean, the rolling stock is a bit of a joke because it's exactly the same Class 323 from what was it, the Glossop line, because it's technically an extension to that, because it departs Manchester Piccadilly and goes to what is it, the airport, and I think some other areas in the local Manchester area, and it's 27 miles. I expected a bit more, really. I mean, I know it goes to other places like, you know, Alderley Edge and Manchester Airport and Stockport, but yeah, I would have thought something a bit more ambitious, something a bit bigger. I mean, I'm not saying don't do a route in the north of England, set in the modern day, of course not. I just would have liked to have seen something a bit more ambitious, you know, either the rolling stock or the route itself, you know, just 27 miles and no new rolling stock, as good as the route may look by Alan Thompson Simulation and his team. Yeah, it just does not interest me there either. What else? The gameplay packs, you know, the Cargo Line Volume 3 Intermodal, forget it. Same goes for the East Coast Mainline Diesel pack. It's just a 47 rebuilt from scratch. The Cargo Line Volume 4 pack for the UK, that's military. That does interest me, because obviously it's military freight that we've never had in Train Sim World before. For London Overground, Midway Line, as good as the scenery looks and the rolling stock, I won't be getting it because it's not the full route that is being constructed. It's only going as far as, what is it, Woolston Junction? It doesn't even go to Richmond or even Clapham Junction, so forget it. I mean, I can understand, you know, it's a single developer, Incredible Trains, doing it all by himself. You know, credits to him for taking on the challenge, but if it's not a route that is fully simulated, you know, I mean, what is it, the North London line, was it 17 miles? And only, 12 is being reproduced in Train Sim World, then it just doesn't interest me. If Incredible Trains is maybe one day in the future going to complete the Midway line, because let's be honest, this version of the North London line is not a complete North London line as good as it looks. So yeah, if he was to say maybe on a post or on a forum on his website one day in the far future saying, hey, I'm going to try and finish it from Woolston Junction to Richmond at least, I might get it then, but for now, no chance. The Tadami line, the first Japanese route in Train Sim World, looks spectacular, but again, it's not the full Tadami line that's being simulated in Train Sim World, so I'm not going to be getting it. It may sound a little bit harsh, but that's just how I am. And finally, the BR Class 86 electric locomotive for the West Coast Main Line over Shap Route or Preston to Carlisle from Just Trains. I will be getting that 100% because it is a brand new locomotive to Train Sim World. And there you are. That's my little ramble on the upcoming stock for Train Sim World. Where was I? Let's have a look at this. This station. That is Framingham. Hello. I don't think you're meant to be here, madam. What are you, or sir? What are you doing? It's a bit unsafe. I think you're breaking a number of railroad health and safety things. Let me have an open door for you. Maybe you should come on board. Come on the coach. Please don't think of committing suicide. Yeah, there's the door. Why don't you go on it? Go on the train. No? Okay, fine. I tried. So this is Framingham then. Oh, I like that. Even the bench there, don't look too shabby. So, commuter rail to Boston. PIS displays working. Excellent. Got the car park, very small one of course. And I presume this is the area of Framingham, the town. It's not bad. We're about to come alongside the river for the first time. Wonder if this elevator is going to work. I don't think it will. It would have been nice to have seen other posters instead of just the same ones over and over again. There's a huge car park over here. These car parks don't look too bad, to be fair. They don't look too shabby at all. This must be the main station building of Framingham. Oh, that's nice, look at that. What's that? DeLong Depot Diner. Okay. Okay. It isn't too bad. I mean, I was expecting a horror show because it's a US route. You know, normally Dovetail and US routes don't entirely go to plan from a scenery perspective, but I'm quite pleasantly surprised. The roads aren't too bad. It seems to have actually stepped it up again when it comes to road infrastructure. I mean, got the traffic lights and signs and the crossing gates. Yeah, looking okay. I couldn't remember if they actually worked the crossing gates as I approached the station. Hopefully they did. Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too shabby. I've noticed some of the cars there flying. That car there is flying over the road. That's a bit of a pain. But yeah, other than that, it's okay. Oh, turned the wipers on by mistake. They sound good. Right, the next station stop is Ashland. It's just under 3.5 miles away. This is lovely. Look at this. Very nice. I love this water texture that they've added to Train Sim World. It looks so much better than what they had before. That's a nice little scene. The river, the ducks you could hear, the wildlife, the ambience. That's a pretty scene. May not be as good as in real life, but that's not a bad sight from a Train Sim World perspective. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at the chat. Since I haven't looked at it in a little while, I must be honest, I've just been busy rambling on and looking at the route. Speed limit has increased to 55. You can see some of the CSX sandpatch grade equipment on the tracks, which is cool. We're just passing Nevin's Yard. As well as a school bus depot, by the looks of it. Again, it's nice to have the CSX rolling stock back in the spotlight for Train Sim World for a little bit. You know, as far as actual playable stuff you can do with it. It's nice to see it back. Hey Siderkin, nice to see you, hope you're well. No, I don't see much value from the Dutch route either. I think a few people have said on the forums how disappointed they are of how short the German route, the Dutch route I should say, is. Sophie, vive la France. Yeah, another French route, top of the list for me. As far as introducing new routes or expanding the list of routes for Train Sim World on the European scale, or another route in Austria. Fine by me. Fine by me. 2 miles to go until Ashland. Outside again, yeah, would have liked to have gone all the way to Crewe. Hopefully the 150 or the 153 from the Wales route layers in as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I hope the 150 in particular, you know, which was done pretty badly by Rivet Games, hopefully Dovetail does a much better job with the 150, particularly in the sound department. Oopsie daisy. Oh, shut up. I know what I'm doing, Alerta. The 323, to be fair, Steve, I thought actually was pretty decent. I mean, particularly from Birmingham Cross City. I didn't see anything wrong with it, to be fair. Maybe the textures inside the cab were a little bit meh. But as far as sound goes, I can't complain too much. It was better than I thought, and it is a good model. I don't know if the northern version of the 323 has got progressively worse over time compared to the Birmingham Cross City line variant, which I didn't play. When was the last time I played Birmingham Cross City? I think it was like back in November last year or something like that. So the overground route may end up being like main specific bar and useful for layers to other routes, small ones of the route itself. Yeah, but if the route is not, I mean, if you can't, as good as you know, a single developer or a solo developer is of constructing a route of that visual quality, you know, having the Olympic Stadium or West Ham Stadium, Olympic Park, foliage and stations, and the license of London's overground and the 378 and all that kind of stuff. But if you know, the question remains. I mean, why release a route up to, you know, Wilston Junction? I mean, surely the person could have completed the route to Richmond at least. I mean, it's only 5 more miles, and I say only, it's probably a mammoth task, but you know, is it Dovetail pulling the strings of the developer saying, oh, this looks good up to Wilston Junction, let's just release it as it is, that'll be fine? Or is it the developer, you know, wanting a bit of cash, or like now, or you do question. Is the priorities right? I mean, maybe it was his intention to always have the route going to Wilston Junction. We will never know. So we need to slow down a bit here. It would help if I turned the throttle off. Silly idiot. Oh well. Oh well. Well, at least some passengers can get on and off. Not all of them. I don't think there's hardly anyone on board. Was it just one in the top coat, top, and just one at the bottom? Yeah, I think the amount of passengers on the trains themselves is a bit of a concern, especially since, you know, I departed Boston South at rush hour. So, I think the amount of passengers on the stations isn't the problem. I think it's the amount of them on the trains themselves. It's lacking a little bit. I've noticed that of late on some routes. I wonder why. Because otherwise it's pointless having a passenger service with, you know, with hardly any passengers. Okay, so what station is this? Ashland, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's a station named after me. ASH. It's my station. Again, car park don't look too bad. I can't tell what the road's like over there, but again, you got the river there, gleaming away in the early evening light. Yeah, getting the station don't look too bad. Very pleasantly pleased. I mean, not with the station itself, but the facilities surrounding it, like car parks and so on and so forth, and the road network. It seems to dovetail, like I said earlier, I've gone a little bit of an extra step to tidy it up a bit more. That I do like a lot. That's a big win for me. There's some workers here. Are they waiting for the train home? Or are they waiting to start evening duties? Who knows? Got some geezers chatting over here. What about? Who knows? Oh, we got some different adverts for a change. Good. Got the bus. BIS displays in full working order. I like this ramp here. As well as the steps to access the bridge, which then would go up and over the tracks and onto the other side. Nicely modelled. Ain't too shabby. Just got to be careful of the time. What's the time right now? 9:30 in the UK. PM, that is, not AM. We're rolling back, if anything. Okay, the next station stop, ladies and gentlemen, is Southborough. Just over 2 miles away. Sophia, if it does not reconsider the class 143 150 done properly, but 150 on the bus call logo, 100%. 100%. Be interesting to see how much the Welsh route's going to cost, considering the route is quite small. It's got quite a few stations. Was it 18, 20 stations, including the depot as well? So yeah, I think out of all the routes that I've rattled away at, the Welsh route I think is top of the list. With the I swear there was another route I didn't mention as well. There's another third-party route. What was it? It was by TSG. I think it was like the old Austria. It was a route set in Austria back in the, what was it, the 90s or 80s? You know, the Crocodile electric locomotive. Yeah, I forget where it goes to or from. I've got no idea. I think it was the Mittenwald barn, isn't it? from Train Simulator, but just, you know, sent back in time by TSG. I think it's a longer route as well. I can't remember where it goes from, or to be honest with you, other than I know the name of the actual route itself. Here's a look at the map. We're slowly trundling towards our final destination, which will be Worcester. What's pretty cool as well with this route is that you can also do any passenger service you conduct, either with the HSP46, the F40PH, the CTC, what was it? CTC3 and CTC5 cab cars. You get a different mix of style of coaches. So you have the double-decker coaches or the single-level coaches, which is quite nice. There are some variants like this one I'm operating here, which have a consistent line of coaches. So if you just want an operator service with, I don't know, complete double-decker coaches and cab car, or single-level coaches and cab car, you can. But they are very few and far between. Why? Because I looked for half an hour today to find a service with a single consist of double-decker coaches and cab cars for the stream. I think I'll save the usual YouTube shenanigans for the first time this year. If you'd enjoyed this stream so far and you like what you see or hear, then of course feel free to subscribe to the channel and feel free to hit the like button as well. The next stream, as always, will be next Monday. Just trying to look what the date is. Lost track of time and everything tonight. The 13th of January 2025, and what route it will be on, couldn't tell you. Haven't got a clue. Henry, the woman should be reported and banned from the station. Oh yeah, the person a couple of stations back. Yeah. 100%. So what station is this, if we can even make it out in the ever-fading light? Southborough? Or Southborough? Oh. A different one here. Distractions are deadly. Stay alert whenever you're near the train tracks. Indeed. Always stay safe out on the railroad or the railway. There's a destination display. Does not show the next, you know, when's the next stop and where it's going to or from. I imagine it has the time and the date. Scrolling on his phone. Got some picnic tables and some umbrellas, maybe for the workers. A couple of Portaloo cabins and a bin. Bit of rubbish down here, that's nice to see. Down by this, maybe a warehouse or something like that. Interesting walkway. Down to the... oh, the road's down there, so we've gone over the road. Okie doke. Again, the road don't look too horrendous. Yeah, not bad. Let's go. The next station stop is Worcester, just over 6 miles away, which is wonderful. Cytokine, you have to stay hydrated, Spurs. Oh yeah, I haven't got plenty of biscuits because I haven't got any biscuits. They're downstairs in the tin, but I've got, well, what is now cold chocolate instead of hot chocolate. Oh well. Oh well. So if you're not so much the train, but the fact with Anton Simulation be the third free, yeah, I do agree. As good as the 323 is, it's a bit annoying that at least something new wasn't added to the Manchester Airport Commuter. It depends how much it's going to cost. I mean, in recent years, Alan Thompson Simulation has been known for overpricing his products on Train Sim Classic rather than the quality of the products themselves, which is a bit of a shame. So it'd be absolutely fascinating to see how much that route's going to cost. I mean, if it costs ridiculous money, like what is it? I don't know, if it costs the same as, say, the West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle route or anything over that price bracket, then no, I wouldn't pick it up, no chance. I would get it on a discount. But if it's priced appropriately, like, say, I don't know, maybe $19.99 or $24.99 even, I might swallow it and accept it. There's a freight yard up there. That's North Framingham Yard. Big presence for the CSX, as well as an Evans Yard, which we passed earlier. And there's a yard we're about to come up to here. This yard is Westborough Transfer Flow Facility. There's the locomotive there. Switch it. Ready to welcome some more freight or make up some new freight trains for the evening shift. What are those tracks? Doesn't say. Not a local industry, I don't think. There's a CSX locomotive with some, I think, doing some oil or that's a very long train for a single CSX ST40 or a GP38. My goodness, what facility is this? This isn't a it's just transfer flow sidings. I know there is one where you can take I think to a local chemical plant or something nearby. I'd be gobsmacked if a GP38 was to take that amount of wagons and tankers to or covered hoppers to a chemical plant. That seems quite a lot for a cute little GP38-2. The river, as well as over here as well. That looks brilliant. You know, when the lighting is right on Train Sim World, it can look pretty good. Sometimes lighting can look terrible, but there you go. Can't have it your own way. Just over 2 miles to go until Westborough. I don't actually know how many stations we've actually got to stop on this service. Let me just check. Westborough. Okay, I've only got a couple more stops. It's not too bad, not too shabby. I mean, as far as time-wise goes, I have to wait until like 11:30 anyway this evening, because my mum's out and about. So I could probably squeeze in another full run if I really wanted to. Providing I'm not slow as slugs. Looking at every station. I mean, I've seen a majority of stations. There are some I haven't stopped at. So, it will take a little bit quicker. Let me just rephrase that. I will be a little bit quicker in the next service, there's no doubt. I do want to. I really, really want to take the F40 out for a spin because I like that so much with the new sounds, but I don't think I will have time. So, I think I'll take the new cab car out for a spin. I'll go into the journey mode and mess around with it. We've got just over a mile to go until Westborough. Sophie's Southborough American cousin of Loughborough. Sophie, cold chocolate, nice, go well with cold pizza. Yee, lovely. Don't tempt me. I think we just went past the local chemical facility on the left. Yeah, that was the Westborough chemical facility we just passed. Well, we got to start slowing down. That's too horrendous of a stop. Could be worse. Like the ambience straight away. Alright, so we're near a yard that specialises in tyres and automotive vehicles by the looks of it. So there's a very industrial near the station facilities. Got disabled car parking spaces. That is nice to see. Again, car park don't look too horrendous. Got the bus. You can see the stars in the sky starting to illuminate. Destination display there is fully operational. It's good to see. And we've got a wall here. Okay. What's on the other side of the wall? Just grass and bushes and shrubs. I imagine I'll get a better look in the daytime. Yeah, the station facility is very much similar to the previous stop, isn't it? Yeah, not too bad. Oh sugar! Did I not unlock the doors? Oh bugger! I unlocked both of them. Oopsie daisy. Let's look the left at least. That's me fired from MBTA. If I wasn't fired already. Sophie should be £10 at most. That's ATS route on release. £10? I don't think so. It'd be a miracle if that was the case. Unless it would be £10 for I don't know, 1 mile of track. Each mile of track is £10, please. And the multiple unit is an extra 20. And the timetable is an extra 30. Hope it doesn't come down to that one day. Good grief. I have a terrible feeling it might do. And the world has gone completely mad. I think it might be wise to stick on the set the brightness to maximum on the lights. And let's depart and head to the next station stop, which is Grafton or Grafton. That bridge over there looks interesting to me. Oh, those lights really do shine bright. LEDs. Yeah, got some cars going over there. Oh, this bit looks good. The rivers. Or the... I mean, is it even a river? What would you call it? A lake, maybe. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice. I'm beginning to like this route a fair bit. Mainly because of the rivers and the lakes. Mainly because of the water texture in those rivers and lakes, especially at this time. You've got a reasonably steep gradient, 0.6%. It's not the most challenging route to operate in terms of, gradients. You're not going to encounter incredibly steep gradients on this route. So I don't think it's the most challenging route to operate on, but it is a nice change of pace, change of scenery, then compared to the Boston Sprinter route. I do like Boston Sprinter. It's my favourite modern American route for quite some time. I liked the Long Island Railroad Commuter as well, though, I have to admit. The New York to Trenton, I mean, it was okay, but the performance was just... Well, the timetable was bad to begin with. Then Dovetail stuck a whole layer of services in the timetable, which was brilliant, but then it just completely destroyed the stability of the route's performance. So, yeah, not the best. Despite I really liked the... not only the fact you could operate the Acela on there and, Amtrak services in general, but the New Jersey Transit, because I've wanted to see New Jersey Transit rolling stock in Train Sim World, and at least we've got one locomotive and the coaches and the cab car. I would have liked to have seen the 45, or is it the 45 or the 46? I can't remember which one. It's the dual power locomotive that runs on diesel as well as electric. But I do like this route, but then again I'm seeing most of it in the dark, so that doesn't help. Like I said, when I do a cab car run in the opposite direction, my opinion could change. A little bit far, but that's okay. It's really starting to get dark. There's a little bit of daylight left in the distance. So, welcome to Grafton. So the PIS display works, albeit it says the station name, the time and the date and the day, but no on actual services. Okay, so you got steps and a ramp to the station car park. Is that a Camaro? Bumblebee? Oh, not quite. It's a Dodge, I think, a Dodge Charger. I was going to say, that'd be cool. Have like a Bumblebee Camaro in Train Sim World, albeit not officially licensed, of course. Yeah, again, the car park don't look, again, too terrible. I think it's a little bit bare bones in terms of the, like ticket machines and all that kind of stuff, but other than that, it's not too bad. I mean, you've got the road markings here, that is a nice touch. A couple of disabled bays here. And again, that cookie cutter style station. This time you've got a ramp directly onto the bridge. And you've got the traffic going over across the bridge there. Okay. Nearly there, ladies and gents. We're nearly at the finish line. Just wait for the doors to lock. So the amps rise, and let's get moving to the next and final stop, which will be Worcester. This is the steepest gradient we've had departing the station for quite some time. Of course, it's not the busiest route in Train Sim World. It'll be much. It's busy in the Boston area, but once you get out of the Boston area, it's pretty quiet. But that is what you would expect. Heading out of the suburbs of Boston and into another part of Massachusetts. Sophie, on the subject of Bumblebee as a franchise bus network on Greater Manchester, really? Ooh. Well, I'd be damned. Expect to see the next Transformers movie or something like that to be sponsored by them. Go to see a Bumblebee. I remember the first Transformers film in 2007 launching, and that was sadly the best film that was made of that original, modern trilogy of Transformers. It plateaued from there. But since then, it's recovered reasonably well. I mean, I don't watch the new movies anymore, but I watched one where it was directed by, what was it, Steven Spielberg or something like that. Just a pure film about Bumblebee, the character. And that was a good film. I think he was a Volkswagen Beetle instead of a Chevrolet Camaro that he's mostly known for. Oh, got some just a dead end there. Okay, interesting. Almost impossible to see where that would have gone to. I have no idea, but I'm going to guess a factory or a shopping centre or a supermarket. I don't know. Or I couldn't tell. It's just... I'm braking. Believe me, I'm braking. There we go. Another siding here. It doesn't just say what it is. So that's where we're going via. This part of the route I have no idea what to expect. This is Worcester Yard. That's for storing some other locomotives and rolling stock, I think. Maybe CSX as well. I'm guessing that CSX. Seems we're going up over a road, it would seem. So it's a fair old climb to Worcester, as far as gradients go. So one element, that's an interesting challenge maybe if you operate this service in different weather conditions like rain or snow or even the mist even. Oh, shut up. Really? I've got it under the speed limit as well. Thank you very much. Good grief, this is a slow speed limit. Why have we have to go so slow? I think I've only seen, what, 1 or 2 trains for the majority of this service. I know we're coming up to triple tracks in a second. So where's the station itself? Is that Worcester? That is Worcester platform. It's just one platform at Worcester. Seems to be. I can assure you the next service will be definitely set in the daytime. Slowly cruising to Worcester. Very slowly indeed. It would be cool if you could actually adjust the time of day and the weather as you're driving along. That would be really a nice little gimmick. Granted, it's not realistic, but you know, if you want to change the weather on the fly, I think that'd be quite cool. I think you could do that via a mod on the Train Sim Community website for PC players. I think it's known as God mode. Or some people call it God mode, you know. Change the weather. Rawr. God, I hate it when it does that every time. Jeez, you couldn't get any more slower. I bet we'll think, what, we're barely a mile away. Slow and steady at the moment. So the engine has got, this locomotive's got some power to be maintaining 18, 19 miles per hour on one notch at 0.6% gradient. I find that pretty impressive, considering we've got what is it, 5 coaches in the cab car, double decker ones as well, which I imagine the double decker ones are heavier than the single decker ones, unless they are constructed of a different material, maybe aluminium or maybe steel. Not sure, to be honest with you. But we are very slowly coming up to Worcester. We are very nearly there. We're just under restricted speed at the moment. I mean, no, we're not even at red signal. Where is it? Is it there? Well, are we going to get into the station then? Oh, don't tell me it's broken. I've given all this... Oh, no, it does work. Fair enough. I was going to say, thought it was broken for a second. Right, let's just pick up the pace a little bit and get to Worcester, 1.5 miles away. We're nearly there. Very slow approach to Worcester. That is a surprise. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't go too fast. Especially now we got a downhill gradient. I did not anticipate that. There's some well, not daylight, but there's some lights around me, it would seem. Right, here's the triple tracks. 1 mile to go. I think I'll get down to 25 before applying the brakes again. You can see the freight yard here, CSX containers on BNSF flat trucks. Fair enough, I suppose. This is Worcester, it seems. I have little to no knowledge of the area, of the place, the history, so I won't say much in case yeah, I say a load of crap basically, and it's incorrect. There we go. Actually, I won't have to apply any power at all since we're still on the 0.5% gradient, cruising to Worcester. See a huge yard. Clearly a busy freight interchange here at Worcester for mostly, it seems, intermodal freight. And I imagine you have a little switch around here somewhere, doing the usual work, day in, day out. There's a CSX locomotive, albeit not the one I was expecting. What's that, an AC 4400? Is indeed. Oh, quite a few of them around here. Yeah, definitely containers are the order of the day around here. You can see them all ready to be shipped across the states by truck. And you can see Worcester just starting to come into view. It is just one platform at Worcester. Wow, I'm surprised by that. And where these tracks go up north somewhere, and these obviously will go down south or southwest. We're very late, but we made it. First run on this route, tick in a box. I didn't mess up. And we can finally unlock the doors. Well, there we are, we completed a full-length run of the route. I think I'll best take a look at the station when we're in daylight. As far as the locomotive goes, the HSP-46, definitely a plus for me. It just, the sounds just need to be taken up a notch. And maybe the horn in particular can be edited a little bit smoother. But other than that, I can't complain too much of the HSP-46. If maybe, you know, huge fans or regular commuters on the route, you know, manage to pick this route up and play it, then, you know, they'll probably will hold the route, I should say, to a greater scrutiny than I am. I'm just a British guy doing, you know, this route. Okay, so that's a CTC 5 cab car. That's the one I want, isn't it? Problem is I don't know which one. They're all Boston south to Worcester, interestingly. Rock and roll cab, that's Worcester to Boston. That's just in the CTC 3 cab car, don't want that. That's HSP 46. That's the CTC 5. That's pouring with rain. Typical, is that? It's not what I want. These are all Boston to Worcester. Okay. Well, I want to take the cab car out for a spin, so I think I will. The CTC 5 cab car, that's the one. I couldn't care what time of day it is. I don't know, 8:48, that'll do. Let's stick it in a much more warmer time of the year. Let's say July, and there's some cloud on there as well. Yep, there we go. Right, I'll rattle through this route much quicker pace this time because we've looked at most of the stations, except for the okay, the cab car. Very similar to the one on what route was I going to say? It'll come to me in a second. The New York to Trenton route. Number lights, the windshield heater, gauge lights. Cut the brakes in, it might be a wise thing to do. Thank you. And a little box, there should be a box up here somewhere. There's the fuse cabinet. The EPCB. I don't know if that should be opened or not, but ATC fuse, ACSES, and the alerter. EPCB, I have no idea what that means. Let me see if I can. That's the ADU. That's the SDU. The fuse board. That's the one. No. I don't know what EPCB actually means. And I don't know if I should have it open or closed, to be honest with you. Oh well, we'll find out, won't we? You do have, yep, guard controls. You know, to open and close the doors. So that's a nice little touch. Let's take a look around the interior of this cab car and the coach. Emergency defibrillator, fire extinguisher, emergency exits and equipment locations. That's cool. Got priority seating. This is the upper deck. This is full to the brim, this service, to start with. That's good. Oh good, you've got the PIS screens working on board. That is a nice touch. You've got low level here, also with PIS screens in full working order. And I imagine it's the same. I think the seats are a different colour, or a different maquette. Are these standard class? I presume so. There's no... Oh, hang on, because the coaches are different, aren't they? Yeah. Let me scuttle back to the cab and get in the cameras. Get the external camera out. Did I open the door? Yeah, I did. Let me scurry back to the cab quickly. I do want to get a bit of a shift on with this particular service. So there's the cab car. Let's take a look at the exterior very quickly. So you've got a CTC 3 cab car and the CTC 5 cab car that mix and match with these different variants of coaches. So you've got the double decker coaches and the single decker coaches, as I call them. Yeah, no complaints. Out the rolling stock. So this is Worcester. Let's finally have a look at it in the daylight for a change instead of the darkness. And what we're powered by HSP 46. Excellent. So that's Worcester Station. It's nice to see a bit of rubbish and dirt and looking all grubby. This must be the station building. It looks lovely, but shame you can't. It doesn't have a modelled interior. That is a bit disappointing, I must confess. But other than that, the area surrounding it, don't look too bad. It's at a clock tower. There's the US flag, not blowing in the breeze. Ooh, gee, this does not look good. What a shame. The majority of the roads on this route looked good until I managed to see this. That's a bit of a shame. Yeah, that ain't good. I mean, the roundabout in the middle is alright, with whatever that is. Is that a sign, a clock? I don't know. But yeah, that doesn't look good. That's not good. Sign there. Every day is Taco Tuesday. I swear tacos are mainly, California. There's the highway here. It's not super busy, but there are some cars out and about, so that's good. Here's another aspect of the station. Well, this bit of the car park looks better. A lot of dirt and grub and roads not being totally brand spanking new. Got some sidings over here, and there's a huge freight yard fitting intermodal, which is cool. Let's see and hear what this cab car is like. Not bad. Not bad. I think there's a bit of looping in there, but because the horn is so loud, you just about can't notice it. So the first station stop is Grafton. Let's take a look at the chat. Sergeant Kin agreed a timetable. Too good for. Yeah, the NEC. Yeah. Oh, that is the 45 I mentioned. All right, fair enough. Sophia, part of a drive Andy Byrne to improve public transport in Manchester. That's something. That's good. I mean, Manchester today probably isn't operating very well as far as transport goes, with all the snow they've had. Airports closed and rail lines disrupted, roads either flooded or covered in snow and ice. Feel sorry for poor old Leicestershire that's undergone a huge amount of flooding. You'd think it'd be just snow, but nope, it's rain, I'm afraid. I think people would rather have snow rather than flooding. There you go. That's a shame. I like the in-cab sounds. Very nice. Speed limit will increase to 40 miles per hour. Sophie. Recent GTA issues. I don't know what issues with GTA is all about. I mean, to be fair, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a very long time. I haven't even got the game installed, I don't think, anymore. I think I've uninstalled Grand Theft Auto 5. Which is sacrilege to say, but it is unfortunately true. Because I'm running a little bit low on storage. I'm thinking of upgrading my external hard drive, but not just yet. Maybe later in the year, maybe. Soderkin, Forest Gate and Shrub Hill are laughing at seeing this station for sure. So, oh goodness, yeah, the roundabout and the road network around the roundabout did not look good, unfortunately. The track ballast as well, I don't know how accurate that looks to real life, but it looks okay. There's a bit, I think it looks a bit more brown, like maybe the rails showing signs of rust, or the sleepers. Not sure. Doesn't look too bad though. I'm hoping we do stop at every station, and not just stop at the same stations that we did before, as well as not stopping at the stations I hadn't stopped at before. Let me just check. I want to make sure how many. Grafton, Westborough, Grafton, Westborough, Southborough. I'm forgetting what stations we didn't stop at, to be honest. I think we didn't stop a majority of these stations on this bit, like Wesley Square and Wellesley Hills Farms, Avondale, I think, West Newton, Newtonville, Boston Landing. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's an all-stop service. Good. I'm going to try and get this service done as quick as I can. I'm a little bit up against the time. I've got just over an hour. I don't know why the red icon on the HUD is constantly being displayed. I think it's meant to show you that the brakes are still on, but they're obviously not. So all the power isn't being applied. Sophia Leicestershire Fire and Rescue on the news talking about the floods. Well, I saw a helicopter shot of the amount of flooding that's happened in the area, which is very sad. Very sad, especially this time of year. Good grief. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. The speed limit will be increasing to 70 miles per hour. So for GTA issue, since recent update, PC players have been able to launch the game. Wow, I never knew about that. Oh. You think the whole of social media will be on fire because of that, but there you go. Maybe I'm on a a good part of social media for a change, maybe. I've deleted a few social media apps lately because yeah, I just don't use them. Okay, we've been given clearance to proceed to the next speed limit, which is 70 miles per hour. Oh, the horn in the cab sounds much better. Much better than HSP 46. Oh, I like that a lot. I think at some point I'll do like an MBTA like special stream, like I did with the London calling stream I did 2 to 3 months back. You know, I'll do a run on North East Corridor and Boston Sprinter as well as the MBTA commuter route. Just under 2 miles to go until Grafton. Sadikin sounds like you might want to get a mini PC and a drawing tablet set up. So we'll likely end up being the same one since they're all stopping services. I don't know if it's like a semi-fast express or something like that. I'll have to dive into the timetable a bit more at some stage. But we are approaching the first station stop, which is Grafton. There it is. Oopsie daisy, a little bit too ambitious there with the brakes. Okay, passengers are boarding as well as withdrawing. Yeah, so much better to see it in the daylight, isn't it? It's mostly in a very leafy area. Oh, you got a little pond here, look. Good day for ducks. The second stop of the journey is Westborough. Or Westborough. 2.5 miles away. So let's go. We've got no time to lose. I'm delighted to tell you that the every time you start a service that AR lights are on, or the marker lights. That is regardless with either the cab car end or the locomotive end. Because sometimes you know, when you start a service, the tail lights aren't turned on, and it's really annoying because then you've got to run all the way to the other cab, regardless if that's the locomotive or the cab car, and switch them on, which of course costs you time, which isn't ideal when you haven't even started a service yet. So that's nice. I've just looked at my calendar and I was about to ask you lovely ladies and gents watching the stream, what kind of calendar have you got this year in your house or bedroom or whatever? I have the usual Top Gear magazine calendar. It's the only Top Gear magazine I ever get every year. It's the end of the year one when they do the awards and so on and so forth, mainly because it comes with a calendar. As much as I like to have bought a railway related calendar, can't go wrong with a magazine and a calendar for £5. Of course it's quite expensive for a magazine these days, but just one a year, fine by me. I was going to get like maybe a London one inspired railway one, like from the London Underground or something like that. But it was a bit of a faff to pay, you know, for shipping and so on and so forth. the landscape in the distance doesn't look too bad. And look, actual 3D stuff like bushes and shrubs and grass. It's a miracle. I'm a happy person. I do not like seeing fields or acres of land with flat 2D textures. It irritates me immensely. The brake sounds, the sounds in this cab are very good. Very, very good. To me, at least, anyway. Like I said, I'm not a commuter and engineer of this railroad, so yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, of course. There's a bee, busy bee somewhere. Again, just out in the sticks. I like it. Oh, is this bit of grass? Oh, is that bit of grass 2D textures? I won't be a happy bunny if it isn't. Well, to a degree. It is kind of out of the way of the railroad scene. Another little pond there. It's good, you know, the fact that Dovetail have, you know, dumped a load of more foliage, you know, trees and bushes and that kind of thing. Obviously, the closer we get to Boston, the less foliage we'll see. The next station stop is Southborough, just over 6 miles away. Hey Banana Craft, nice to see you. Happy New Year, my friend. Welcome. Banana Craft's a shame an American route, but a very English looking bus. Now, all buses are good, regardless what country you're in. It's a mode of transportation, that's all that matters. Maybe the model could be a little bit better, but there are elementary school buses on this route, which you can see. Look at the free cam for a minute. Just take a look at the surrounding scenery. Is that a school or a stadium down there, or just a little village or town or something? It's much better seeing it from this angle. Depends if my stream can take it. Let the truck. No, we do not. Whoa! I took the reverser out for a second. It's never a good thing to do. But I've got most definitely Dovetail games for you. Yeah, I mean, maybe they could construct some more variants of buses, let's put it that way. I mean, they're not going to make accurate licensed models, are they? That's taking it a little bit too far. Speed limit is increasing to 70 miles per hour. And we're just over 4 miles to go from Southborough. So that's where we are currently. That's where we started. And that's where we're going to finish at Boston South. So we've got a lot to get through. So the stations I've already stopped at, I will not look as in depth as I did before. Little industry there. Containers or something. Wood, maybe? Don't know. I will have a little peek at that though. That interests me. What industry is this? Looks like pallets of wood or something, or is it just usual boxes, parcels? Yes, it is. Is it an Amazon factory or something? Who the hell knows? Urban Aircraft, nice looking trend. Oh yeah, absolutely, the cab car. I mean, the MBTA stock in general, you know, they have some nice liveries, and they are modelled quite well, to be fair to Dovetail. Yes, the trains are the most important thing, and yeah, modelling wise, they do a good job. It's just sometimes the textures on them, regardless if it's in the cab or the exterior of the, you know, coaches, locomotives, multiple units, cab cars, it can be a little bit up and down, you know. We've got a speed limit of 60 miles per hour coming up shortly. I don't know how long this stream's been going on for. What is it? 2.5 hours? Good grief. Longer than I expected. Ah, well. Just over a mile to go until our next station stop. Time flies, indeed, Sophie. Time flies. Goes faster and faster every year. Swear to God. There's a little stream, a river down there. Looks to be. At least stop at the end of the platform. That'll do for me. Missed my stopping point by quite a bit, but at least we, like I said, stopped at the platform. Welcome to Southborough. When you see in the daylight, you really do forget how rural this route really is. See the doors closing. You can see them in action.
Caution, the door is about to close.
The next station stop is Ashland. Urban Craft, yeah, still looks like underground lines. Safety awesome, yeah, hopefully more tube lines in Elizabeth line come to Trinity Walden. Tube lines, I don't know. It's been nearly 4 years, or over 4 years now, since the Bakerloo line launched. The overground, we've had, well, what, 3 routes this year, technically. Was it 2 routes? Not this year, I should say. This, maybe last calendar year. We've had, what, 2 overground routes? The Goblin line, or the Suffragette line. And the, was it Lioness line, or the Watford DC line. And then we'll soon get, not all, but part of the North London line, or the Mild Maid line as it's now officially called. We will see. We will see. The Elizabeth line, I don't know. That's a tough one, because well, they really just want to reproduce exactly the same route, really, from. Well, it'll be new to a degree, won't it? Because it depends. I mean, what part of the Elizabeth line are they going to bring to life? Are they going to do the section they've already built in Trains World from Reading to Paddington, or are they going to go all the way to Abbey Wood? Are they going to just go from Paddington to, you know, Abbey Wood and not Abbey Wood, what is it, Shenfield and Stratford, maybe Heathrow? It's a tricky one. I mean, they've got the multiple unit already built. I mean, not the 345 exactly, but it's the same body, the same shell. Was it the Aventura units? So yeah, as far as Elizabeth line goes, that's a bit of a tricky one to judge which section they will do. I mean, they're not going to do the whole line. I'd be gobsmacked if they did. But then you get a call from a lot of people saying, well, you should have just upgraded Great Western Express. Just having a, you know, Great Western Express 2.0. And you have to pay an extra price for it, and that'll be, I imagine, a bit of a stumbling block. This is Ashland. Oh, a nice little bit of little island there, look. It's the river. Oh, that bit of road don't look good. That's come apart there by the looks of it. Oh dear, it needs to be tidied up a little bit. The next stop is Framingham, just over 3 miles away. Started thinking maybe the Metropolitan and Jubilee lines as one combined route, given they overlap. As one combined route, that'll be fantastic. But Dovetail's not going to do a combined London Underground route. No chance. No chance. Unless they... I don't know. Make one and then make the other separately and stitch them together one day? I don't know. But I can't see them making two tube lines at the same time. It'd be lovely if they could do that, but I just have my doubts, because it's Dovetail, isn't it? Why release two when you can release one each? It means more money. The crossing gates do work. That is something. And up they come. Fair play, they work. There's a gas station here with no road. I've never seen an off-road petrol station or a gas station before. It's not very good. I think the one route I'd have, if it was a London Underground route, I think it'd be a Circle line. I like the Circle line. Personally. I don't know. Maybe the District line, maybe as well. I could see Just Trains making the Metropolitan line because he's made it before, hasn't he, on Train Simulator, if I recall, many years ago. Oops. Speed limit of 15 miles per hour. And you get on the brakes there, then. Blimey. I don't remember encountering a speed limit of 15 miles per hour, especially coming into Framingham. I don't know, maybe I did before. Unless it's because of a freight train. Oh no, that's just a marshalling yard, freight yard. Bugger, 15 miles per hour, that's so slow. Slow but steady. Oh well. A couple of SD40s. Or maybe a GP38-2. Chilling out. Got some scrap or some rubbish, Norfolk Southern. Ugh, 15 miles per hour. Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Might be on time for once. We're roughly about, I'd say, nearly halfway. So we're doing okay for time. But we've got way more stations to stop at and look at, so it's going to be tight. May have to do the unthinkable and break the speed limit on purpose. There's the lake, or the river. Don't know what lake it is, but at dusk earlier it looked fantastic. I'll look over here again. Where does this track go to then? That's a triangle. Okay. Just go out the map. There's there's a freight yard up there. I've got about half a minute to wait. I love the sounds of the wildlife. Very nice atmospheric sounds. This reminds me a little bit of that Canadian National route that was released all those years ago. I've forgotten about that. Yeah, but big again, another big freight yard. Your switching pleasures. The next stop is West Natick. Cytokin, sad but true, especially Simrail having underperformed. I'm surprised Simrail's underperformed. There was a lot of hype and expectation from that game. I'm surprised it's underperformed the way it has done, but I'm going too fast. Loud apologies there. Wasn't paying attention. Forgot it was still 15. Same Cytokin, I do look at some maps most of the time as well. I hope the Cardiff City route commuter, or whatever it's called, is okay. But I have my worries because it's Dovetail, of course. But I hope it is a solid package. I hope. It's a little bit more built up in this area of Natick, the town of Natick anyway. Oh, that truck's on a bit of... wants to turn. Where's the reverse seat? What's going on here? Thank you. Sardinia is treated like this divine sailor that would finally bring down the tyranny of Dovetail as late into its prologue release, and now silence. Oh dear. What, has the developers gone bust or something, or they've just stopped developing it anymore? Stopped developing it, I should say. Because it looked quite good on the outset, you know, it had high speed, had Steam, I think, as well. They were releasing some free locomotives and updates, which is something you'd never expect to see in the train simulation game. But yeah, it seems to have just, like you said, quietened down. Shame. Unless they're just working away on, I don't know, turning it from a prologue into a full release. Oh, there's a F40PH and a CSX locomotive with some flat trucks. That's cool. There's one cool thing about the F40PH 3C. You can do some freight services with it. Not many, but a few odd ones, like mostly flatbeds you see there, flatbed wagons or flats. What's going on over here? There's a swimming pool. Oh, it's empty though. It's not modelled very good. We've got a bit more 2D grass textures I don't like the look of. Ah, that's nice. Out into the car park, which again don't look too bad. Solar powered as well. Good. The next stop is Natick Centre, just over 2 miles away. Cytokine just came out of beta recently. It's just a lot of hype. It's just lost a lot of hype. Okay, right. Came out December the 13th. Okay, so just under a month ago. That's a shame. I mean, I don't know if they're going to add any more routes, and I don't know how many routes and, you know, stock and all that is in the game, because I've got absolutely no idea. But you never know. Things might pick up for it as the year progresses. Fingers crossed. We're coming up to Natick Centre. Take a look outside in the daylight. Oh, you got a nice church. Oh, look at that. Oh, not too bad. Or a chapel. Not too shabby. Entrance to something. Was that a diner or restaurant? It is indeed the good old American diner. Hey, some people are not looking when they cross the road. Jeez, I want to get run down, clearly. Clearly. I like the graffitied walls here as well. It's a cool touch. And on the buildings there too. Sophie Divine and I saw curry. I don't like curry, to be honest with you. Not a fan of Asian foods very much, particularly spicy food. Spicy, I mean, I don't like any spicy food, regardless what country and continent it's on. Just don't like it in any way, shape or form. Excuse me. Oh, I'm getting a bit stiff. Sat in this chair all the time. Well, not all the time, just every time I do a stream or make a video. I have to sit down in this chair. It's a lovely chair, but sometimes I stand up when maybe either playing a game or something, or even making a video. I just tend to stand rather than sit. Hannah, how do you say this? Is it Wellesley or Wellesley? Wellesley. I'm going to say Wellesley. Either way, it's just under 2 miles away. It's Wellesley Square. So the town of Wellesley or Wellesley. Either way, I butchered the name up, and I apologise to my American subscribers and viewers. So, Kimmer, how much of that is that stereotypical egg roll or Asian food? I don't know. I've just tried, you know, all sorts of Asian foods, and majority of them have been spicy. That's very loud. Maybe they should turn the alerter sounds down a little bit. It's a little bit too loud, but then again you could just say, well, just turn down the volumes as well. That is true as well. But anyway, going back to what side of Kim put? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just every time I tried some Asian foods, be it Chinese or even Japanese food. Yeah, me no likey. My stomach does not like it, regardless if it is spicy or not. It's just not a fan of it. I'm sure there are some Asian foods I may like one day, but yeah, as far as Indian and Chinese and Japanese food I've tried so far, no. One day, maybe one day. I don't think I've looked at this station yet. Whoa, need to brake. No, I don't think I have. That didn't sound good. Sounded like something broke or snapped. No, I haven't looked at the station yet. So this is Wellesley Square, Wellesley Square. There's another church in the background there. So I think there's a few stations within this town. One or two at a push. There's warehouses. Seems to be. Big industry in the centre of the town. Unless they are just fast food restaurants. Again, you know, they've done I was going to say a decent job of the road, but then again, they put the shops on some grass that's not entirely convincing. Neither is that big black bit of tarmac to, I don't know, make a crossroads, I presume. So that's not very good. At least this bit and that bit of road don't look good. And neither does that. Oh dear. My praise of roads on this route is starting to slowly deteriorate. Car park looks good. That's the most important thing. Again, it's not too bad as far as the station goes. I wonder where's the MBTA. It normally has an MBTA sign, like a logo, indicating this is a rail station. This is interesting. What could this place be? Don't know. Is that a station building, a school, a church, or whatever it is? Don't look too bad. More parking for some industry. This truck driver is not going to be too popular if this was a full car park, and he's taking up a few spaces there. Right, let's go. Right, let's go to the next station stop, which is Wellesley Hills. Soda Guinea because I wonder if the people making the food. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Speed limit will be reduced to 55 miles per hour, then back up again to 60. Welcome to Wellesley Square. Interesting house there with its garden. Again, that bit of road don't look good. Neither does that, and neither does that. Oh dearie me. What have we got? Seems like a parcel place here, or postal service building. Oh, this is cool. This is a nice station building. With a blue for a change. A nice blue too. There's the MBTA logo. Car park. Don't look immensely terrible. This bit could do a bit of a clean up. It would be nice if the building, the interior of it was modelled a bit better, or modelled itself. That would be quite nice. The next stop is Wellesley Farms. It's an interesting one. Farmland, I imagine, is order of the day. Lots of it. We will see, won't we? Ooh. Welcome to Wellesley Farms. Oh, there's someone actually looking at a board with nothing on it. I guess that's for someone to... What is that now? Walking stick. It is. I've never seen an NPC of a walking stick before. So it seems Dovetail's finally adding some elderly people to the game. About damn time we have some variation on the NPCs, you know, as far as disabilities and ages go. Got two women standing here for taxi or a friend. There's another little pond there. This building isn't too bad. You can actually walk inside it. A little waiting shelter. A nicely modelled one too. Yeah, rubbish on the ground. This is a nice one. I see the other platform, or they're enjoying their love life. Another lake over here. Oh dear, the cars are flying. That's not good. There's a guy sitting on top of it. And you can actually hear something on the phone. Good grief. I think Dovetail's starting to improve the NPCs. I'm reasonably pleased with that. There's a nice steps up to the main road. Sorry, love, you've just missed a train. What, we're just over 3 hours. Jesus. I might have to skip, I think, some elements of this route. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I think I might go to Arbandale and then maybe cheat just by looking at the stations I haven't looked at yet. And what I mean by that is teleport. Because all I want to really see is the stations and the surrounding infrastructure. But then again, I won't be able to use the free cam either. I think I'll stop at Arbandale and I think I have to call it a day. This stream will keep going on forever at this rate. There's a little freight yard there. I think, maybe, or maybe not. What is it? Ubendale? Arbandale? Okay, so this is Ubendale. Once again with long platforms. It's probably the longest one I've seen yet. Where the highway there. That does look okay. Getting the trees, shrubs, bushes appreciated. This bit of road needs a bit of a clean up. Car park looks okay. And yeah, it goes up to the main road there. And presumably the same on the other side. I have one little more peak at the other end, and then I will have to call it a day, I'm afraid. It's a nice church over there, or in the short distance. Might be the same church that's already been featured on this route, but either way, it's not the worst model in the world, or asset. Just check over here. No, so we've got a road sign there. Arbon St Newton. Okay. Oh, wow, it seems it's got some actual good signs there. Not too bad, not too shabby. See, oh, clock's going off. That's nice. Didn't expect that. Means it's time for me to go. Okay, I think I'll call it a day. I haven't stopped at all the stations such as West Newton, Newtonville, Boston Landing. But other than that, I've mostly covered the whole route, and the rolling stock has to provide. So let's go back to the main menu, and I'll call it a day. But yeah, overall, yeah, it's difficult to say. Is it better than the Boston Sprinter route? Or is it not? Because it's a very different experience. You know, the Boston Sprinter route is mainly focusing on high speed. It's got, I think, less stations than this one. Whereas this route going from Boston to Worcester and Framingham is taken at a much slower pace. A lot more commuter style services. Serving the smaller towns in Massachusetts, and it's more set in the countryside really. There's a few urban centres, and obviously going to Boston, big cities. So it's nice to have a bit of variation of different terrain and different types of scenery. And the timetable is well stocked, particularly on the freight front, which is good. So it's a difficult one to say whether it's better or worse than the Boston Sprinter route. I think I'd say both of them. I'd say 50-50 are reasonably good for a US route from Dovetail. It could be better, of course. And as you've seen in the latter stages of the stream, it could be a hell of a lot better with some scenery lacking a little bit. Particularly some of the road networks. It is better, the road networks this time around, much better than on other routes in the past, but again, there's still a little bit of room for improvement, but it is a bit much better than it has been before, in my personal view. So what would I say? I'd say, yeah, pick it up. If you've got the Boston Sprinter route and you want to complete your MBTA Commuter, I'd say get it on a discount there, like I did. So yeah, for now, I think out of 10, I will give it a... I think a 7. I think a 7 out of 10. There's a few little niggles with the locomotives, and as far as sounds go, editing them, or the volume of the sounds needs to be taken up a notch, particularly with the HSP 46. But other than that, the new locomotive, brilliant, brilliantly modelled, looks great. It's just the sounds need to be taken up a little notch, edited a bit better. Maybe this stop-start shut down of the engine after 3 minutes. I didn't really see it happen, and the stuff was just saying that, just saying it for sakes to get sales. I don't know, but whether it works or not, I don't know. I'll have to test it another time. But yeah, that concludes my stream on the MBTA Commuter. So I would like to say thank you very much for watching. It's been a long one. Take care of yourselves, and as always, I will see you next time.